Hi everybody, welcome back to another CYT-Crypto episode. My name is Stephen Aitchison, and today we'll be going over the markets. We'll be looking at how the market is just shooting up just now, and the market cap is shooting up at the moment, and it's going to go to kind of hopefully a 6 months all-time high very soon. But we'll look at that. We'll look at the Bitcoin chart, we'll look at Ethereum chart, a couple of other charts as well. We'll also look at a couple of news stories as well. So thank you everybody for watching these videos. I know over the last couple of days since I've switched from live, they're doing really well just now. So if you want to subscribe to this channel, hit the notification bell and hit that like button as well. That would be fantastic to help the channel grow. Okay, we'll have an overall market capitalization of $273 billion. Who's the winners and losers? We have NEM is up 23%, Bitcoin Cash 13%, Nexo, Nano, Bitcoin SV, Hedera Hashgraph, Monocoin all up in double-digit greens just now. In the red, we have Centrality, Bitcoin, MadeSafe, Elf, Coin, not by that much at all. You can see we've only got about 15-20% in the red, 80% in the green in USD value. And Satoshi value, this will give us the real indication. We have in the green, it's still doing okay, probably about 50-50. So that means people are buying alts as well as buying Bitcoin as well. So it's not as if they're just getting out of alts altogether and kind of holding Bitcoin. That is not the case at the moment. Okay, let's look at a couple of charts just now. Look at the Bitcoin chart first of all. Okay, so I've showed you this kind of long-term view, and I still want to focus on that long-term view. You always have to focus on the long-term view. But we can now get rid of this descending channel. So we've got a couple of things we want to look at here. First of all, we want to look at this symmetrical triangle formation here for Bitcoin. And I want to draw this line here for you. Okay, so this is the line between the top and the kind of bottom price for this particular triangle. Normally what happens with a symmetrical triangle and the breakout of the symmetrical triangle, it will go up by the difference between the highest and the lowest point, which is this. Okay, so we're going to extrapolate that and we're going to push it on to a breakout from where it broke out from round about here. That would give Bitcoin a price of 17,774 roughly. Roughly. So about 17,500 we could break up to the upside. Now I'm not saying when this is going to happen because this pattern has been in place since the 26th of June 2019. So we're talking around about 7 months. So it could be 7 months for it to kind of go back up. It could well be. I don't know if it's going to happen before the halvening or if it's going to happen after the halvening. So that's the first thing. The second thing I want to show you is this new ascending channel that's been forming. So you can see here in the purple, just vaguely kind of outlined. We'll see it better on the 4-hour chart. And we'll kind of zoom out. And you can see this ascending channel here happening. And this is on the 4-hour. And you can see we've got a couple of touch points here on both sides. So you've got the support line here and the upper resistance line there as well. So we'll bring this down so we can focus on this. So right now we're kind of just starting off, bouncing off this support line. So we could see this, or Bitcoin going up to around about the 11,000 mark over the next couple of weeks before it starts to come back down again and kind of bounces off the kind of 10,300 area and just does something like this. So what we have to look out for here is a break from this channel, either to the upside or to the downside for this formation to kind of fold. We'll just go back to the daily again. You can still see this channel is very much in play. Got the touch points here, got the touch points above as well, really important. So if it breaks here, we've got a new pattern formation forming. So if it does break here, we're talking around about the 11,000 area. If it breaks to the downside, then we've got a new pattern forming and we'll have to start all over again. So this is the ascending channel, looking good for Bitcoin just now, as long as it doesn't break below, say, 9,100, 9,200. So we're good unless it breaks at 9,200 level-ish. So we're in this ascending channel, which is a good thing. With the Bitcoin as well, I want to show you that the Bitcoin halvening date might actually change. So at the moment, if you go to bitconsider.com, and you'll be able to see this chart of Bitcoin halvening countdown or halving countdown. We've got the 30th of April. So it's not actually May. So it just depends on a lot of things with the kind of hash rate and the transactions, the throughput as well, that determines the Bitcoin halvening. It's not somebody deciding when it's going to happen. It's after specific kind of blocks that have been kind of mined. So blocks until halving is 13,799. So it could be quicker or it could be a little bit slower, but at the moment it's for the 30th of April to occur. So that's coming up very, very soon. We're in February already and we're coming up for the end of April. That's going to happen. So this could get pretty wild for Bitcoin. Okay, I want to take a look at Ethereum just now. In fact, we'll go back to this chart. This is the thing I wanted to show you. This is a long-term symmetrical triangle. A couple of touch points again, very much like Bitcoin. Got touch point here, touch point there for the support line, for the resistance area. Touch point, touch point, touch point, and we're coming up for a touch point now. Okay, so currently we're at $208 for Ethereum, which is fantastic. Been saying for ages, since $140 this is going to go up. It's going to go up to $300. It looks as if it's getting there. However, we could actually be in for a much, much bigger rise if it breaks out of the symmetrical triangle. Now, remember with the symmetrical triangle, it just depends the size of the break and the price action for it depends. It doesn't depend on a couple of things, but we could take it as extrapolate from a couple of things. From this support line here, really from here, and kind of put that to the price up here and kind of put the information in there. Or we can measure this just like we did with Bitcoin there. We can measure this and it's the price difference between the lowest and the kind of highest points of the triangle. So what we do, we'll just straighten this up and we'll push this to a break from here. Now, obviously you see now going smaller, but it's just the dollar kind of value. So if Ethereum were to break out from here, say it came up to $250, if it breaks out the symmetrical triangle, what we could see is the price going all the way up to $1,200 quite quickly. Now, I'm not saying it's going to happen overnight, because it's not. It's not going to happen overnight. But if it does break $250, that's a big if. Now, what we have to do is kind of zoom in. We're seeing here it kind of went from $80 all the way up to $380 and then came back down again and hit the support line, and it's doing the same again. So if it breaks from, say, 247, if it breaks out that, then we could be on a parabolic rise for Ethereum. There's a lot of stuff going on with Ethereum just now. I've been showing you over the last couple of days. So this is from newsbtc.com. Ethereum is about to moonshot after surging past its key level. Ethereum smashes through $200 as analysts eye a moonshot rally. At the time of writing, Ethereum is trading up just under 10%, at the current price of $204. We can see that's much higher than that just now, $208. It's important to note that $200 was previously a critical resistance region for Ethereum, and its decisive break above this level seems to suggest that the 2020 rally is about to turn parabolic. Now, CryptoRand on Twitter says, if Ethereum breaks $200, expect a moonshot, he said while pointing to the chart. See below, we'll just have a look at that on Twitter. So this is what it's saying. This is launchpad range that he's talking about. Now, he doesn't give any figures for here, but I would imagine it's somewhere in the $360 range for Ethereum. So there's a lot of kind of expectation about Ethereum. And this technical pattern suggests ETH rally is about to turn vertical. And this is just kind of what was shown you here as well. If Ethereum breaks a green line, it's showtime, it says. Okay, and that's something very similar to what I've got, the symmetrical triangle. You can see this resistance line here. But they've got a much kind of shorter one. And they're saying if it breaks round about this level, $200 or $201, it's going to go up. My kind of support or looking at Ethereum doesn't support that. Wouldn't say it was a $200. And I want to show you as well this news story This is from Josh Rager. You will regret not buying Ethereum at $200, this trader says. So the deal of the century may be staring back at you. We'll look back in 2 years and talk about how sub $200 Ethereum was a gift. Ethereum bulls can rejoice now that Ethereum has finally crossed back above the psychological $200 level after 5 long months. Veteran trader Josh Rager has made a salient point that at $200, ETH is still down 85.88% from its January 2018 all-time high of $1,400 and could be a great buy long-term. Totally get that. I've been saying that for ages as well. It's an amazing buy long-term. Plus, with Ethereum 2.0 out as well, and there's something else I want to show you just now as well, which backs up the case for Ethereum, in my view. Now, this is from Chico Crypto. If you've not seen Chico Crypto's channel, you probably have. He's Marmite. You either love him or you hate him. I love Chico Crypto. I think he does amazing, amazing research. There's a couple of things I don't like, but on the whole, I just love kind of what he does. And I think he does amazing research, fundamental analysis, and the research kind of digs deep, goes really down the rabbit hole. And he's dug up something with Ethereum, which could help it even more with this bullishness. If we look at this just now, I'm going to show you this. I think it's well worth it.
To 0% inflation. And far out into the future, estimates year 2140, the last halving takes place, and Bitcoin inflation stops, officially becoming a deflationary currency. And that is the argument, my friends. In just over 4 years, Bitcoin's inflation will drop below 1%. And then in just over 8 years, it will have less than 0.5%, while Ethereum's will realistically be just less than 1%. The scarcity of Bitcoin compared with Ethereum over time will become apparent, unless Ethereum was able to figure out that final puzzle piece. Well, Ethereum has, with Ethereum Improvement Proposal EIP 1559, which was submitted by Eric Connor all the way back in March of last year.
Okay, so I wanted to show you this from Chico Crypto because I had never discovered it, so I didn't want to put it in and say, okay, I've discovered this, when it was actually Chico Crypto that discovered it. I've never heard of EIP 1559 before as well, the proposal. So I'm going to put a link to the video to explain this further and exactly what it means for Ethereum. Suffice it to say, this is extremely good for Ethereum as well. And the kind of burn mechanism that he's talking about here, and the kind of fees that's going to be given to the stakers as well. So take a look at this video. I think it's well worth it. It's only 12 minutes long. And take a look at Chico Crypto's channel in general. I think he's got some brilliant research. Some things he's kind of off the mark, I think, with, but very few things. He's getting better and better all the time. So definitely worth subbing his channel as well. Okay, so that's it for Ethereum just now. What I want to do now is I want to give you an update on Constellation. Constellation, and Ben Jorgenson brought out a video just this morning, so I want to show you that. So I want to show you this, just a couple of clips from this. I'm not going to show you all the video, it's about 30 minutes long, but I'll give you a link to it as well down below so you can see it. So there's a couple of things to mention here, and I'll show you, I'll kind of talk about it after I show you this clip.
I'm actually doing this live from Washington, D.C., where Constellation was selected 1 out of 12 companies, 150 applied to be a part of this program called Decode. And what Decode is basically a sales accelerator for the federal government. And so we applied to this organization because of how complex the United States government is, and our recent exposure with the United States Air Force has given us an idea of what potential Constellation can do as we really focus on providing big data infrastructure tools with cybersecurity leveraging blockchain.
So that is a huge thing. Now, I think Ben Jorgenson here is kind of downplaying this Decode. I'm going to give the link for Decode as well, and I'll check it after the video for you as well, just to show you exactly what it is. But Decode could be an actual brilliant thing. I think he's downplaying this because he's got other news about the mainnet swap. So I'm going to show you that just now as well.
Now, to talk about the mainnet. So we are going to be postponing the mainnet swap. It was scheduled for February 11th, and we will be delaying this. I'm going to be brutally honest with you as a community. That's kind of who we are, who we've been. That when we extended the mainnet swap to February 11th was because KuCoin was off for Chinese New Year. During that time, it allowed us to test the node cluster and check its stability. And what that means is its uptime or runtime as we add more nodes on board. So as we would add more node operators. And what we found is that during this extra time of testing, we saw that it crashed. And it kept crashing. And so that's given us a little bit of insight onto some bugs that exist in the protocol. This is a good thing because we're finding this early on so that we don't have a crash of the network and be disastrous for the network. So we will be pushing the mainnet swap out a little over a month from now. I will be getting back to you, but we are projecting it to be about a month and a half from now.
Okay, so the Constellation mainnet swap over was meant to happen in about 5 days' time. To me, it's not a big thing because they said in the roadmap it's going to be Q1 before they do the mainnet swap. It's going to be within Q1. We're still going to be within Q1. It's going to be mid-March before they do the mainnet swap. I don't see it as a big thing, but the thing I think we should focus on here is the fact that they're in a kind of government space right at this moment. This is where Ben Jorgenson and team are just now. And what they're trying to do is, with this company called Decode, and Decode they marry up the federal government and some outside agencies to try and get them contracts quicker and better. And they've got mentors in there that can help them with that as well. And Constellation is the only blockchain project in that space. Just now, I've been invited to Decode as well. This is Decode, what we're talking about. This is a website. Decode connects the tech industry and government to drive commercial innovation in the federal market. So Decode solutions for tech companies, government organisations and industry partners are all designed to improve the way government runs using product and practices from the private sector. And as I said, the only blockchain company that have been invited to this 12-week programme is Constellation. This is huge. A lot of people are going to focus on the mainnet swap and how it's been kind of postponed again. Don't. Trust me, don't. If you're not going to Constellation yet, check it out. I think it's going to be extremely big in the future. I've spoken about it before. I'll put a link down below. I'll put a link at the end of this to show the 10-minute spotlight on Constellation, although it wasn't my best one, I have to admit. But I'll put a link to it anyway. I think it's going to be really good. And they've already had a partnership with the US Air Force, partners with blockchain firm to automate data management. So Constellation have got this under the belt already, so that stands them in good stead. Now this Decode as well, really, really good information from Ben Jorgenson today. Although the mainnet swap is going to piss a lot of people off, I don't know why it would. They said they're doing Q1, they're still on target to do it within Q1. So we'll see what happens with that, but to me, not a big thing. We'll just check on the price for Constellation. Is back down to 123. It was up to about 155, 160. This is not going. It's not going to stay there for long. There's no question in my mind. I just think it's almost like people were talking about Chainlink before it kind of jumped right up. I'm not comparing this to Chainlink, but this is how I kind of feel with Constellation. I think it's going to shoot up kind of big time, but it's a longer term hold as well. We'll have to kind of be patient. But the mainnet swap is not going to help it. The delay of the mainnet swap is not going to help it. But still an amazing prospect for the future. Still 123 Satoshi. Still think is a good buy at these prices. Crypto goes IPO. Ripple could lead the blockchain industry's charge. 2020 could be the year that crypto companies step forward and take the plunge into going public, as the biggest players in the industry cautiously watch for opportunities to gain regulatory approval. And Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse used the prestigious Davos World Economic Forum Summit to announce that the firm was considering an initial public offering later on in the year. I told you another news story about an IPO that was being done on the blockchain as well. So this could really be the way forward as well. Now, other companies as well could be using the Ethereum platform to do IPOs as well. I shared that with you kind of this week. So I don't know how XRP or Ripple are going to do it. It's not XRP, sorry, Ripple. I don't know how they're going to go kind of public and what format they're going to do it. But this could be a big space in the future. So watch this space. Yahoo Finance and Investing.com falsely claim Bitcoin is down 56%. So two well-known financial media outlets, Yahoo Finance and Investing.com, falsely claim that Bitcoin is down 56%. So this is clickbait is rampant in financial press, and it's especially true for reporting on cryptocurrencies. So it said here, so this is from Mike Dudas. So Yahoo Finance is running this absolutely false investing.com article today saying Bitcoin is down 56%. Why does that matter? Because it has the potential to damage the kind of Bitcoin price. This is why. Misinformation has the potential to seriously distort markets, given that algorithmic bots in the cryptocurrency market usually trade on headlines. Fake news can hurt short-term price movements unfairly. So that's why it does matter. Fake news is big. It's kind of crippled Facebook, to be honest, and it's starting to cripple the kind of news industry as well. So keep an eye on that. Another news story is WazirX. WazirX, the latest IEO token to be released via the Binance Launchpad, has exploded in value during its first day of trading on the crypto exchange. It's went up over 200%. And we'll just take a look at Binance just now. And it's actually going up even more. It's up 820, so it's up another 50% today. So it's going absolutely crazy. It was 219, so it's gone up nearly 300% for WazirX. Okay, that's it for the moment. Thank you very much for watching. Really appreciate your time. Really appreciate you liking this video as well. So remember, subscribe, hit the notification bell as well, and like this video. And leave a comment down below if you've got any comments. You want me to look at any charts, you want me to kind of cover anything, or you've got suggestions for the channel to look at, let me know in the comments down below. Always appreciate your comments. Okay, until next time, namaste. Take care. Bye now.